Hello, and welcome back to Shining from Within, the podcast where we explore the infinite amount of power and potential that lies within each and every one of us. I am your host with the most, Genevieve, and it's a pleasure to be back in this space of creativity and enlightenment. And tonight we're going to discuss what I am going to title as the snowball effect of success. So what this entails, I'll get right into it so that we do not waste a lot of time today. The snowball effect of success. This generally means the compounding of different activities to achieve a certain goal, which in this case is success. So in essence, it's the little things that you do that lead up to the grand success that you'd like to achieve. 6 months ago, let's look back 6 months. Are you the same person that you were 6 months ago? If the answer is yes, then we have a problem. I'll ask the same question again. 6 months ago, are you better or worse than you were? If you were worse than you were 6 months ago, then we also have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Which leads me to the next question. What did you do or didn't you do that which has led you to be in the predicament that you are? And then I'll ask this for the last time. 6 months ago, if you were in a better place than you were, what did you do right? I think it's very important, especially when we're heading towards the close of the year, to begin to self-evaluate the activities, the decisions that we made, be it in our personal lives or work lives or business situations. It's very important to begin to evaluate the outcomes, the benefits, the costs, the benefits. We need to do a SWOT analysis and to just gauge whether you made the right decisions or you made a mistake. Because it's never too late to start over. I for one don't believe in waiting for like Christmas and then you do all those resolutions. Anytime that you are ready to have an honest discussion with yourself is good enough time to begin. Going back to what I had in mind, success doesn't always happen overnight. It's about doing things, the little things. It's the little things, one step at a time. Be intentional about it. I feel like you have to get to a point where you just decide. The first step is decision. Decide that you'd like to have a successful life. That's number one. Number two is be positive about it. Yeah? Have a positive outlook on things, no matter how bad it might seem or how unrealistic it might seem in the moment. Number three, which is very, very important, act. It's not just about wishful thinking. We're not magicians. We have to put in the work. Be it working smart or working hard, you need to put in the work. I, for one, opt for smart work, which is why I recommend doing the little things. Be intentional. It's the little things. Take for instance, you have, let's say for argument's sake, you make 100 kwacha every week. And of course we'll say, okay, so that 100 kwacha, okay, no, in a week. Okay, anyway, that's for argument's sake, because I'm trying to point something out that is very important. You make 100 kwacha every week, and you have to, let's say at a domestic level, and you're thinking of, okay, so you need to purchase food, let's say vegetables, you need to get maybe some eggs, let's say some eggs. So maybe vegetables, you get vegetables at, let's say 3/4, and I'm talking about, I'm basing this at an individualistic level, no family. You get your vegetables, you get your onion, and everything comes down to, like 10/4. Then you get your eggs, maybe let's say that's 20/4 gone. You're left with 80/4. From last week, you probably have a bit of oil left, so you say, okay, maybe let me get bundles. Bundles are a bit more expensive, so maybe you spend 20/4 on bundles, yeah? 20/4 gone. So you're left with 60/4. Okay, so this 60/4, you're like, okay, so essentially I have meal, I have everything, and these were the only things that you needed. Let's just say, for argument's sake, you've sorted out all the other essentials and you have an extra 60/4 in your pocket. Absolutely everybody's first instinct is to spend that money. But if you want to see a change, it might even be more. You could be making maybe 10,000, but your first instinct is to spend. We have to begin to change that. If you've ever been fortunate enough to read The Richest Man in Babylon, there is a technique that one of the richest men, employed, and this is one thing I'm going to teach you. It's a law and it works. 10% of what you make is yours to keep. No matter how much you're making, you might say, no, it's less, it's more, it's what, no matter what, 10%, just try to prove me wrong. 10% of what you make is yours to keep, and to keep in private where nobody knows. You could be saving it in an account, you could be keeping it, but I recommend that you save it in an account, because if the money is readily available, the temptation to use that money is very high. So you see a change in your life, you begin to save that money, and you not even go without, because what happens is, like, your mind begins to play these tricks and say, no, I'll need that money. Like, for instance, let's say you make a 4,000 for argument's sake, and then 10% of that should be 400. You keep that 400 away. Let's say you've got a piggy bank, or you put it in a jar and you hide your jar under your bed. You not even miss that money no matter what, because then you'll be able to live within your means. And this is what I'm trying to cultivate. It's the little things. When you notice as time goes by, the main thing would have been you'd have created a habit. And habits are formed within 21 days, which is very important. This is a habit you should form. So 10% of whatever you earn is yours to keep. And what that money is for, it's not for, like, partying. No. This is the money that begins to have babies. It makes more babies that make more babies, and the cycle goes on. Once you have learned this skill of saving, the more you save, reinvest that money. Invest it. In fact, invest it, and then once you get some money from that, reinvest it. I might not be a financial advisor, but this is very important. 10% of all money that comes to you is yours to keep. Just try it. This is one of the little things that you can employ to see a change in your life. The next thing is the way you talk to yourself. It's about the voices. You're going to agree with me that when things are all right inside, if the waters within you, are still, you can go out and face anything. But when you're troubled, when your heart is troubled, when your mind is conflicted, any external conflict, any external distraction can come and completely throw you off balance, which is why it's very, very important to prioritize your inner peace. Make peace with yourself. Apologize wherever and whenever, it's very important. And I think these are things that we normally take for granted, because you're like, we try again tomorrow. Yeah, which is a good motto, but positive self-talk is important, because the fact of the matter is we all go through days where the voices are just out of control. You say this, you try to be positive, and they're just on another level saying the most negative things. You have to learn strategies to silence that. You could be change the music that you listen to more uplifting type of music. Change the books that you read. Listen to, of course, you could be reading, maybe if you read romantic novels, I think it's important to change. You could read something more uplifting, more, personal development personal development type of books. Like, for instance, you can read, The Richest Man in Babylon. That's a personal favorite, and I strongly recommend it. You can also read The Science of Getting Rich. There are quite a lot of books. So anyway, in essence, the snowball effect, it's about doing small things intentionally. The way you present yourself. It's the little things, I don't know who said it, but they said it well. Dynamites come in small packages. It's very important to slowly but intentionally begin to make a change in your life. It doesn't matter. It might seem worthless. It might seem like a drop in the ocean, but as soon as your mind is open to it and your heart is ready to accept that it's time to change, by all means, take that first step. And it might not be easy. It never is. The journey is not easy. But once you realize that and you decide to lead a more meaningful life, take the first step. Because the fact of the matter is, this life we lead has so much to offer. There's so much more, and it's exciting when you think about it. There's so much more that I don't know. There's so much more that you don't know, and there's so much more to discover, and it would be a shame to go back without, even, like scratching. We barely scratching the surface. It would be a shame to, just like go back without at least digging down, going 6 feet, and just seeing what that's about. Sometimes I wonder about, doing this and that, doing this podcast, but it's something special. I feel this is also part of the snowball effect for me in my life, and I will look back at this and say, oh, okay, so this was all leading to something like that. And may it be the same in your lives. It might not be in the same way, but may it all lead to abundance and success. And this is what I wish for each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in.